Ishidate Taichi is one of the most talented directors in the anime industry. He started his animator career at Kyoto Animation in 2003 and made a directorial debut in 2013 with Kyoukai no Kanata. Since then, he has directed some of Kyoto Animation's most notable works, such as Kyoukai no Kanata, Mirai Hen, Violet Evergarden TV series, and Violet Evergarden movie. In this video, I would like to analyze Ishidate's style through his works, which are Kyoukai no Kanata and Violet Evergarden. These works will demonstrate Ishidate's style and his extraordinary directorial talents. Kyoukai no Kanata, broadcast in 2013, is Ishidate's first directorial work produced by Kyoto Animation. Two movies, called Kakohen and Mirai Hen, respectively, were released in 2015. Kakohen is a recap of the TV series, while Mirai Hen is the sequel to the TV series. In the Kyoukai no Kanata series, Ishidate's style is quite noticeable. The first characteristic is the use of effects. Ishidate utilizes many effects in his works, and he includes lots of them in Kyoukai no Kanata. In action scenes, we can constantly see effects such as debris, sparks, smoke, blood, and light in play. They serve to amplify the tension and liven up the action, which I think is done quite effectively. Even in dramatic scenes, Ishidate uses effects to make them more interesting. For instance, in episode 1, the wind suddenly blows, and sakura leaves start raining on Mirai and Akihito as they are having a conversation. By arranging a scene in such a way, Ishidate makes the scene stand out. If the scene had been played out normally without any effect, it would have been much more uninteresting. Also, sakura leaves serve as the starting point of the relationship between Mirai and Akihito, since sakura signifies a new beginning in Japan. In addition, Ishidate loves using obake, an anime industry jargon for motion blur-like effect, in his works, and we can observe it clearly in Kyoukai no Kanata. In action scenes, characters' motions become blurry as they move dynamically across the screen. This characteristic is somewhat odd for directors at Kyoto Animation, since Kyoto Animation opts for a cleaner, blurless depiction when it comes to dynamic movements. These are some of the examples from different directors at Kyoto Animation. As you can see, their depiction is much cleaner than that of Ishidate Taichi, which demonstrates that Ishidate likes working with various effects in his works, obake included. The second characteristic is powerful emotional expression. Directors at Kyoto Animation generally excel at depicting characters' emotions, and Ishidate is no exception. However, his depiction is much more dramatic and explosive than other directors who opt for a more subdued approach. For example, in episode 12, where Mirai says goodbye to Akihito as she slowly disappears, Akihito bursts into tears and tries to reach out to her in vain. This scene feels quite powerful and conveys a strong emotional feeling to the audience. Another example would be in Mirai Hen, where Akihito comes to save Mirai at the end of the story. Mirai talks passionately about her past as she bursts into tears, and Akihito tries earnestly to convince her. This powerful depiction of emotions spices up the scene and gives each character a strong personality. Overall, the Kyoukai no Kanata series is an excellent showcase of Ishidate's style and serves as a foundation for his magnum opus, Violet Evergarden. Violet Evergarden, broadcast in 2018, is Ishidate's third directorial work produced by Kyoto Animation. Violet Evergarden Gaiden, the side story of Violet Evergarden, was released in 2019, and Violet Evergarden movie was released in 2020 and put a conclusion to Violet Evergarden's story. In the Violet Evergarden series, Ishidate's style is very recognizable. Like in Kyoukai no Kanata, Ishidate utilizes many effects throughout the series. For instance, in episode 2, we see Violet and Erika conversing in the rain. As they talk, the sky clears up, and sunlight shines on Violet and Erika as if it were responding to Violet's resolve to continue her work at CH Postal Company. Another example would be episode 13, where Violet and her co-workers attend the ceremony, and letters fly onto them like flower petals. Obake is also noticeable. In action scenes, especially in episodes 8 and 9, Ishidate uses obake to emphasize the action and express the messiness of the battle. But out of all effects, lighting is the most impactful. Ishidate expertly places light sources to produce different atmospheres, and in every scene, lights change along with the time and weather, constantly interacting with surrounding characters and objects. By masterfully utilizing lighting effects, Ishidate makes each scene much more beautiful and brings life to the world of Violet Evergarden. In terms of emotional expression, it is depicted even more powerfully and explosively than Kyoukai no Kanata. A great example would be episode 10, where Anne, a young daughter of Violet's client, rushes out in dismay as she thinks her mother's condition is not improving. As Violet follows after her and talks to her, she bursts into tears and hits Violet repeatedly in quite a dramatic fashion. Another example would be when Violet visits Gilbert's house in Violet Evergarden movie. In this scene, Violet stands before the door and asks him why he is not willing to meet her face to face. Each character is brimming with emotions that are about to overflow at any second, but both Violet and Gilbert try their best to restrain their feelings, which I find extremely powerful and masterfully depicted. The climax scene where Violet and Gilbert finally meet in person is where Ishidate's emotional depiction shines the brightest. The whole sequence is a roller coaster of emotion, from sadness to overflowing joy, and Ishidate does a phenomenal job of depicting Violet and Gilbert's changing emotions. Overall, the Violet Evergarden series is an exceptional work of art and a perfect showcase of Ishidate's style and his directorial genius. Over the years, Ishidate Taichi has proved himself as one of the most talented directors in the anime industry, and considering that Violet Evergarden is my favorite anime series of all time, I cannot thank him and Kyoto Animation enough for creating such an extraordinary work of art. Aside from animator work, he's working as an instructor at Kyoto Animation Animator School, helping to raise a future generation of animators. Thanks to Ishidate, the future of Kyoto Animation and the anime industry is bright, and I cannot wait to see more works from him for years to come. Thank you for watching.